like the next video, episode 20, like that's a milestone for this channel. I very well may have something special planned for that episode. Guess you'll have to wait and find out. I might have oversold that just a little bit. I'm just telling you how I got into fragrances. What, you thought I was gonna do like a fragrance giveaway or something? No, we not doing it. We not doing it. We not doing that. A loaf of bread is like $83 right now. You crazy? Giveaway, you should be giving me, man, you crazy. And we back. Welcome back, welcome back. This is Smell Good, Feel Good. My name is Blake. I am your local cologne connoisseur. Has it been that long? I am your local cologne connoisseur, your scent savant, your fragrance fanatic, your pundit of parfum, if you will. And it's good to be back. It's definitely good to be back in this room, in front of this camera, talking about these fragrances. It's been a long time. I apologize for the hiatus. I never ever really meant to take that long of a time off, but life has just kind of been crazy, or work more so than life has been crazy. Life has been great actually. But when you're having back-to-back 9-10 hour days filled with 20 different projects and objectives you're trying to reach, by the time you get to the crib, you're just drained. By the time you get there, you just want to chill and sit in peace. As a result of the crazy work days, it's kind of hard to get into a creative space once I get home, and the videos kind of suffer because of that. But I'm back, I'm back, I'm back. Thank you so much for sticking with me through thick and thin. We are on episode 20 though. Episode 19 was like damn near 3 months ago. Like, my bad. I had about 250 subscribers at episode 19, and at the time I'm recording this video, I'm right around 320 subscribers. So y'all never stopped the train from rolling. That was me. Y'all was there the whole time. So thank you so much for holding me down. I appreciate it. But episode 20 is here. We not going nowhere. But I thought I'd take a little bit of a break from the usual reviews and kind of tell you about how I got into fragrances and the first 5 fragrances I ever purchased. It should make for a pretty interesting video, but you let me know in the comments if you agree. That's for you guys to decide. I do it for y'all. But if you haven't checked out episode 19, we review YSL YEDP. Now, YEDP is one of my favorite go-to warm weather scents. That green apple just kind of pops in that one. A lot of people ask for suggestions on good fragrances, and this is always one of the ones that I recommend. It's not too outside of the norm. It smells great, it lasts long, and it's a crowd pleaser. Check out episode 19 if you haven't already, and leave a comment with your thoughts. And not that you asked, but what am I wearing today? We're not talking about cologne, we're talking about shoes. This is the Air Jordan 6 Travis Scott Olive. Now, I bought this one on, was it sneakers? Yes, I got this on sneakers. This is one of my rare sneakers wins. Those are hard to come by. Today, actually, I won the Jordan 1 Union, the ones with the woven stuff on the side. I don't know if I like them for real. I might end up selling them, but a win is a win. I'll take it. But these here are the Air Jordan, like I said, Air Jordan 6 Travis Scott, the olive colorway. I do think this is the better of the 2 Air Jordan 6 colorways. That other one just looks like ground beef or something. I don't know how to describe it, but this one is nice. Of course, I put those yellow strings in it. There's no other yellow on this shoe for real, but hey, it makes sense. They decided it and I didn't, but we're not here to talk about shoes. We're here to talk about these fragrances. So how did I get into fragrances? The question everybody wants to know, and by everybody, I mean like the 2 or 3 people who've asked me how did I get into fragrances. The great Elizabeth Taylor once said, "The beauty of fragrance is that it speaks to your heart and hopefully someone else's." Now, Liz was kind of out of pocket trying to pass as Cleopatra. She was kind of tweaking, but she was in her bag with this quote right here. She was on point. So I've always been into fragrances, not to the degree that I am now. Like, I didn't have 100 fragrances back then, but I always kept a solid rotation of like 2 or 3 nice ones. I started off only really liking the fresher scents. Like, that's really all I knew at the time. So when I discovered this first scent, I was sold. Now, there was this guy selling imitation fragrances out of the back of his trunk at a local gas station, and he let me smell this. Polo Sport by Ralph Lauren. This is my very first fragrance I ever purchased. This first released in 1994. I believe I bought it in 2002. It was a classic then, and it's a classic now. By the way, I did not buy like the knockoff version from the guy at the gas station. Like, I definitely went to the mall and bought the official version. We don't do Fugazi over here, my boy. But again, this one here is more of a fresher scent. It has citrus notes, aldehyde, mint, lavender, and a whole bunch of other notes. Like, it's a perfect warm weather fragrance. I still bring it out every now and then, but the performance leaves a bit to be desired. But as far as smell, I think it still holds up in 2023. Like, it's not in my top fragrances, but it's still solid. Then a few years go by and I come across this classic, Versace Blue Jeans, another warm weather banger. This one debuted in 1994. This one here is a fresh, spicy, citrusy, woody fragrance, another classic scent right here. I actually smelled this one for the first time when I was a kid, and I was going through a bunch of different fragrances in my big cousin's collection. Hi, Jeremy. So as a kid, I was in Cuz's bathroom going dumb, like violating his entire collection, spraying each and every one of them to see how it smelled. Like, on straight demon time, reckless time. Like, my bad, Jeremy, my bad. But I sprayed a few sprays of this here, and like, I swore I was the freshest guy in the country. Like, I had to be 11 years old when I sprayed this for the first time, and like years down the line, I ended up buying it, and it was kind of my signature scent for a little bit. By today's standards, I would say this one's probably a bit outdated, but I still throw it on every blue moon for nostalgia purposes. Like, it still smells decent, it's still pretty solid. Then a couple years later, I ran across another fragrance that I fell in love with. Candies by Liz Claiborne. What you're looking at right here is not the original Candies that came out in 1999. I did not know that when I bought this. The one that I bought a couple decades ago, it smelled almost like a masculine melon. In the bottle, it had like almost a bluish green gradient on it. Like, look it up, you'll see it. I'm honestly probably a bit too mature for that one in 2023, but once I saw it was re-releasing, like, I bought it off nostalgia alone. Make no mistake about it though, this is not that. Like, a few changes with this new release. One notable change is the bottle. No longer do we have the bluish green gradient bottle. They just come with the solid blue bottle on this one. Another notable change is the removal of the Liz Claiborne branding. I should have knew something was up right there. And lastly, this smells nothing like the original fragrance. Like, this is just your run-of-the-mill generic fresh blue fragrance. The smell is generic, the performance is terrible, and like, overall it's just a forgettable fragrance. Come to find out, this new release is not even made by the same company. Like, they just use the Candies names in hopes of getting all the fans of the old formula to buy this new one. And I mean, it kind of worked because I bought it, but like, I wear this one when I work out just to say that I wear it, but otherwise it would just sit on the shelf going bad. Like, I really like the original fragrance, but this one right here, like, don't buy this, fam. Like, just trust me. But after I OD'd on Candies by Liz Claiborne, I picked up this gem. Unforgettable by Sean John. That's right, your boy Sean John, your boy Diddy jumped into the fragrance game, and he jumped in there with a certified banger. At least at that time it was. This one dropped in 2006, and it's also more of a warm weather scent. Now keep in mind, back then I had no idea about fragrances being in season and out of season, and when you should wear it and when you shouldn't wear it. I was just going with vibes. Like, I wore this year round, bro. Like, I didn't know any better. But again, this one here is a heavy citrus scent. It has mandarin, grapefruit, lemon, bergamot, the whole nine. Classic scent right here, and I think it still holds up in 2023. Again, it's not in my top fragrances, but it's not bad. Like, this is a good one to get if you're just getting into fragrances. This is a significant step up from something like Candies by Liz Claiborne, like at least in the grown man category. This is much more mature than Candies, and I actually stuck with Unforgivable for a few years until I ran across Mont Blanc Legend Special Edition. This one is actually one that my wife picked up for me, and shocker, it's another warm weather citrusy scent. You could tell, like, I found a scent profile that I rocked with and I just ran with it. But this one I still wear to this day.
To this day! To this day!
This one came out in 2014, so it's not as old as some of the others on the list, and it's probably the reason why it stands the test of time more so than those others. This is still one of my favorites. This was my signature scent for like a solid 5 years, like warm weather, cool weather, it didn't matter. Like, I was wearing this consistently. My wife actually bought this for me, and that was added motivation for me to wear it because obviously she wanted me to smell like this. They still sell Mont Blanc Legend in the black bottle, but this Legend Edition in the blue bottle has been discontinued. Now, I'm sure you can still find it on the secondary market out there. You just gotta look for it, but it's definitely worth the money. This is maybe like my 5th bottle of Mont Blanc Legend Special Edition since it came out. Like, if there was any fragrance out of these 5s that you could say was my signature scent, it would definitely be this right here. I love it. Hold on, I'm parched. So those are the first 5 fragrances I ever purchased. A question you may be asking yourself is, how do I go from a solid rotation of 2 or 3 fragrances to well over 100 fragrances? It's funny you say that. See, I'm wired just a bit different up here. I'm not all the way normal when it comes to these kind of things. Like, I'll show you how my mind works when it comes to these kind of things.
Yourself.
Yes?
You want to know what's better than 1 fragrance?
What, self?
100 fragrances.
Facts?
Self.
What up?
You want to know what's better than 1 pair of shoes?
What's that, self?
150 pairs of shoes.
Right.
Self.
What's good, my boy?
You want to know what's better than 1 paper planes hat?
Let me guess. All the paper plane hats?
Damn it, you read my mind.
This is so us. So yeah, that's how I ended up with so many different fragrances. Like, the only thing I don't look at like that is kids though. Like, both of my boys are great, but nope. Can't do it. These boys get home every day and eat like half a grocery haul. I'm not collecting another kid. I don't care what self or my wife says. No. But back to fragrances. Over time, I just kept buying 1 new fragrance here, 1 new fragrance there, and like before you knew it, I had a solid rotation of maybe 10 or 15 different fragrances. That's still a nice variety of different scents, but still not quite where I am today. It wasn't until I started tapping in with a guy named Bones Brigante on Instagram that my collection really went over the top. He would do like a weekly fragrance review every Friday, and I always checked him out. out, a lot of the fragrances that he recommended on those videos are still in my collection to this day. He actually ended up dropping a few fragrances himself. One is Mamba Sauce, and the other is Inland Street. Both are fire fragrances, and on this channel I'll probably eventually do a review on both of these. So if anybody's responsible for me just going to I like fragrances to ODing on fragrances, it's definitely Bones Brigante. In fact, a lot of the things that I incorporate into my videos were inspired by him and how he did his videos. Just a real cool, humble guy. Just be sure to subscribe to him on YouTube and follow him on IG. The info should be on the bottom of the screen or the side of the screen or wherever I decide to put it in post-production. I don't know at this point. You'll find out when I find out in post-production, but his info should be on the screen. But from there, it was off to the races, and now I'm sitting in front of this camera in my sneaker room talking about perfume to you guys. So in a weird way, I'm kind of paying it forward. I too hope that one day I can inspire you to spend irresponsible amounts of money on cologne until you've accumulated way more bottles than you can practically wear. It's the American way, right? But there you have it. I hope you've enjoyed my stories while I'm sitting there shaking off these cobwebs. I told you it's been a while since I've recorded these videos, but it's like riding a bike. I got this. But thank you so much for watching Smell Good, Feel Good episode 20. And remember, when you smell good, you feel good. And when you feel good, you do good. And when you do good, good comes back around to you. If you're watching this on Facebook, be sure to like, comment, share. Instagram, do the same. TikTok, do the same. But most importantly, YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Thank you again for coming back. Smell good, feel good. My name is Blake. We out. Peace.